Some of the most common mistakes we see sustainability scale-ups doing are the following. The first one we see almost all the time is that they recruit salespeople way too early. It's much better to scale the founders and maybe one or two additional people in the early years than to try to get the sales successes duplicated by newly hired salespeople. We constantly see this mistake, and it's a very expensive one. You can lose 1 to 2 years. You can lose a lot of funding this way. And when it comes to salespeople, we often see that these companies have a tendency to recruit medium good salespeople and in larger numbers, as opposed to a very small number of really good ones. The world of sales is very discriminating. The best salespeople can be 5, 10, 20, 30 times better than the medium ones, especially when you sell new categories and medium-sized and large tickets. Another one is underfunded marketing. We have a too high belief in the few salespeople we have and the founders. We don't understand the value of great marketing that can accelerate the market maturity, but also the introduction of your new category and your new solution. Another really common one is we're targeting way too many segments too early. So we as founders are quite keen to prove the value of what we're doing. So it's very tempting to try to sell into 5, 10 industries immediately. This is normally a big mistake. It's better to go 1 or 2 segments early, 1 or 2 industries, and really succeed there. And then you can extrapolate into more and more industries. It is also very common to communicate unique selling points towards your direct competitors, whereas the marketing is really thinking, is this even a priority, which is often based on problems. So how important is the problem or the problems you are solving? And the second consideration is that you're typically more up against other categories and subcategories solving the same set of problems and not your category and subcategory. So we go too early on our direct competitors in our marketing and sales, whereas we should communicate the top problems, the categories and the subcategories that are competing, and help clients to understand the differences between the categories and subcategories. In a mature market, unique selling points are amazingly important, but in the early market it is important, but way less important. We often see a tendency of especially slightly, let's call it, more experienced in terms of age, board members that are coming from the old school world where you need to have physical offices in all the new countries you're selling to first, and then you start to sell locally. That is not the successful scaling model that most really successful companies are adopting. They make the first deals in all the new countries from the headquarters with marketing, and you fly in and you do Zoom meetings, not having a local office too early. We also see a tendency of doing too many things in-house. In the early phase of a company, and I'm not talking the first 10 years, not the first year, we need to be really critical about what are we doing in-house and what are we using specialists for. We see a tendency to go too wide in the scope of what we do as an organization and what we outsource to others. And the last point is that we have a tendency to have a too high belief in our tech, and we underestimate the value of marketing, sales, communication, relationships, etc. This is just some samples. We have a complete keynote speech around these mistakes and what are the successful factors. So ping me and I'll share it with you.